What's up, guys? Today I want to talk to you about some difficulties people might be having. What do you do if you've been in ketosis but you're not able to burn fat? What do you do if you're in ketosis but you're not burning the fat that you want, which is why you're probably doing the ketogenic diet in the first place? And I have to get into this because I've been doing this for a while now. I've been doing ketosis for about 3 or 4 years now. And when I first got into it, you gotta remember, if you watch my early videos or if you read some of my early writings, I was heavy into bodybuilding. I was heavy into doing things like a normal bodybuilding diet, doing things like bulking, right? And I didn't get into ketosis except out of desperation. I had a really, really bad ulcerative colitis flare-up. Didn't seem like anything was getting me out of it. My medication wasn't helping. Nothing was helping. But the ketogenic diet seemed to help and seemed to alleviate a lot of those symptoms. And I also felt really good being in the ketogenic diet. The reason why I do a ketogenic diet primarily right now, because I'm not a zealot. I don't believe it's the only way of getting shredded or building muscle or doing any of these things. It's definitely not the only way. I've gotten super shredded on standard carb diets. I've gotten super shredded using other methodologies. I've put on muscle using other methodologies. But why do I do the ketogenic diet? Because it's the only diet I've ever been on where I don't really have to worry about much. Right? I don't have to worry about eating every few hours because my brain energy dipped, because I'm lacking glucose to fuel my brain. I don't have to worry about muscle retention as much. I still got to make sure that I'm getting enough nutrients in. I still got to make sure that I'm getting enough calories in, but I don't have to worry about, consuming tons and tons of protein in order to retain muscle mass. You still want to be eating protein, but you don't need to be constantly eating it. And I don't think you need to be constantly eating it on any diet, but the point is that this diet requires less management on my part than any other diet ever has. I have steady energy throughout the day, and as an entrepreneur, I don't want to have to worry about my energy levels, right? I'm constantly working. I'm constantly trying to put content out. I'm constantly trying to formulate new products. I'm constantly trying to serve my customers better. I run a clothing company, and so we get a lot of customer issues, orders that didn't come in right. I've got to constantly be marketing. I got to constantly be doing things. I run a podcast too, and so I'm constantly on the move, constantly working. I want something that takes minimal effort to manage when it comes to how I'm getting my nutrition. If I had to manage myself like I did back my early days of bodybuilding or even powerlifting, then I wouldn't be able to do what I do. So that's why I do this. Now, back to the subject at hand, those of you who might be having problems burning fat while you're in ketosis, well, here's the thing. Ketosis is not magic, right? Ketosis doesn't change you from the fact that you are a human being. Right? There's certain things we have to understand here. Being in ketosis does not necessarily mean you're burning fat. It simply means this. It means that your body has switched its primary fuel source from glucose to ketones. And the benefit in that is that, like I said, ketones are a constant energy source. Right? You can utilize your own fat source for fuel, or you can gain that energy by consuming fats. Right? And fats take a lot longer to oxidize. They're a much steadier burning source of fuel, so that's what accounts for that steady energy. Whereas glucose, your blood sugar, with insulin gets released, your blood sugar rises, and then as insulin does its work, your blood sugar plummets, gets back down to baseline, or it can go lower. Right, and then that accounts for you getting hungry, you getting hangry, you getting lower brain energy when your glucose levels are lower. Right, so I don't want to deal with that. That's why I do ketosis. But again, ketosis doesn't necessarily mean you're burning fat. Right, now if you're in ketosis, there are some things you should watch out for. Right, the artificial ketosis is one. If you're one of these people who's consuming bulletproof coffee all the time with MCT oil in it, right, or coconut oil, you have to remember medium chain triglycerides, which are in, of course, MCT oil and coconut oil, they convert to ketones fairly quickly, right? That's because of the chain of the fatty acid. It's a medium chain. The liver converts that very quickly into ketones. So you could be artificially raising your ketone levels, right? And you could be doing your blood tests. You say, oh man, I'm in ketosis. I've been in ketosis for a while now. Why am I not burning fat? Well, you could just be in ketosis because you've been artificially raising it. Artificially raising the amount of ketones through MCT oil. Or if you're taking a ketone supplement, right? I take Ketogenics. And the reason why I take Ketogenics and the reason why I take MCT oil is to fuel my brain, right? But if I was consuming too many calories and if I was spending the rest of the day sitting here munching on salami, cheese, and bacon all day long, then I wouldn't be burning fat. Probably wouldn't look good, probably wouldn't feel good either, right? The next thing is you really still need to make sure that you are looking after your nutrient density, right? And again, I mentioned this back when I talked about bulletproof coffee. I mentioned this, whenever I talked about food in general. I've said it a million times. Nutrient density, regardless of what diet you're doing, nutrient density is the most important thing. That means you still need to consume vegetables. I eat a lot of leafy green vegetables throughout the day, right? I have 2 meals, and both meals are, I have plates stacked high with rainbow chard, with spinach, with arugula, with dandelions, things like that, all right? I've mixed those up into smoothies. I get avocados. Avocados are super nutrient dense. I stick those in there. I'll have pumpkin seeds. I'll have Brazil nuts. I keep mentioning this stuff over and over again, but this is the basis, right? It's literally the basis of everything is nutrient density, right? Of course, you also want to make sure that they're digestible, right? And like I said, people ask me if I have a problem digesting those raw leafy greens with ulcerative colitis. Absolutely not. I do not have a problem with that. If it's a heavier vegetable with a tougher wall on it, like kale or like a cabbage, or like especially I try to avoid a lot of nightshade vegetables because they do cause a lot of inflammation. But if you're eating a nightshade vegetable, you definitely want to make sure that bad boy's cooked to keep up the digestibility. Similarly, with nuts, you want to make sure they're soaked, and I've said that a million times too. So make sure you're keeping up your nutrient density, right? Because that helps you to battle off inflammation, right? And that also helps to your gut health. If you're eating a lot of vegetables, that's helping to create a good environment in your gut that's going to promote healthy bacterial growth, right? And you want to be taking care of your gut too, right? So you want to make sure that you're including a little bit of fermented foods in there to make sure you're keeping up the probiotics, okay? And you want to be exercising. You want to be making sure that your activity levels are higher. Right? Just because you're in ketosis doesn't mean you don't have to exercise. There's a buttload of biohackers out there who are trying to minimize the amount of time you need to exercise. I don't necessarily like that because, that's part of me feeling human. I like getting outside. I like lifting shit. I like moving around. I like being out in the woods, out in nature. I like activity levels. I like rolling jujitsu. All right. So I'm a very high activity level person. But for you, that could be, getting up and doing a set of 50 squats every hour at your desk. Could mean doing a set of burpees, every couple hours. It could mean, just doing a calisthenics workout at home, or it could mean going to the gym. But whatever it is, make sure you're keeping your activity levels high enough so that you're burning enough calories in order to keep yourself in a energy deficit that's going to help you to burn fat. All right. And then, make sure you're hydrated. You cannot burn fat unless your body is primed with water, right? It's just simply not going to happen. In fact, your energy levels are going to dip. You're going to lose the ability to really have good brain energy if you are dehydrated. And that's something that people neglect a lot. And it's one of the things, like I said in one of my past videos this week, if you are doing a ketogenic diet, the big thing that could cause you to fail is dehydration. And a big reason for that is both lack of water and lack of minerals. Make sure you're eating your Himalayan pink salt. Make sure that you are including potassium-rich foods and selenium-rich foods in your diet, right? And then again, like I said, because the ketogenic diet is so popular right now, like I said, we've got really popular YouTubers talking about it, and they may not be delivering the best information. I'm not saying that they're bad people, but they might not be delivering the best information to you, right? And similarly, we've got other YouTubers, popular YouTubers, who are trying to shoot it down, right? And I think that my role, in the role of people who've been benefiting from this and trying to teach people about this for a while, our role is to speak the truth. Our role is to speak the truth. And you know, like I said, this channel, because I've always tried to speak the truth, I tried to stay out of drama. I've tried to avoid, you know, just clickbaiting people. Maybe my subscribership is lower because I've done that, and because I've tried to avoid doing that. But at the end of the day, if you're trying to convey something to the world and you're trying to get a message out there, something that I think could benefit a lot of people and help people to live better lives, right? That's why I do this for me, is because it helps me to live my life. And that's what fitness should do. It should make you better at everything. It should make you better at your job, better at your business, better at being a family man or a family woman, better at everything you do. You know, if I'm trying to convey that information to you for that purpose, I need to speak the truth. And the truth is that the ketogenic diet is not magic. And we'll get into more stuff about that life aspect, right? Because I think that's the most important thing about this, is the ability to help you to live a better life. Maybe not, you know, have any magic as far as burning fat or doing anything like that, but your ability to worry about less and to keep things simple, right? That's where the life benefit truly comes in. There's no magic there. It's just keeping things simple, keeping things to a place where you can focus on what's important, rather than worrying about, you know, measuring out food all the time, or even, you know, I don't suggest testing your ketones all the time. That's dumb. That's a waste of energy. You know, follow the guidelines to get into ketosis, and don't be a Nazi about it. But now I'm blabbering. I can cover all this stuff in future videos. But if you've been in ketosis and you haven't been burning fat, well, those are some reasons potentially why, and some things that could help you to get out of it. So with that, I will talk to you soon. If you get a chance, like the video, share it with friends. And if you're interested in more awesome content, visit us at warriorsoulagoji.com. Check out the podcast. Check out our blogs, our vlogs, all the stuff. All right, talk to you soon.